57,000 people, the biggest crowd in UFC history. Israel Adesanya walked through them like an anime villain entering his final form. For 3 years, he was untouchable, the last Stylebender, a man who fought like he could see 10 seconds into the future. Then he lost, and lost again, and again. Israel Adesanya hasn't won a fight in nearly 3 years. He's 36 years old. He says he doesn't care about belts anymore. So why is he still fighting? On March 28th, he steps into the octagon against Joe Pyfer, a younger, hungrier knockout artist who's got nothing to lose. This is either the beginning of a comeback or the end of one of the most beautiful careers in combat sports history. Israel Adesanya was born in Lagos, Nigeria in 1989. He moved to New Zealand when he was 10 years old, a skinny kid in a new country, trying to figure out where he fit. He didn't find himself in school. He didn't find himself in sports. He found himself in anime. Specifically, Avatar, The Last Airbender. If you've seen it, you know. It's about a kid who masters all 4 elements, who bends reality at his will. Adesanya didn't just watch it, he absorbed it. His nickname, The Last Stylebender, isn't just branding, it's identity. He literally named himself after an animated character and then spent the next 15 years trying to become that character in real life. He started training after watching Ong Bak, the Tony Jaa Muay Thai film, moved to Auckland, found City Kickboxing, and over the next decade, he built one of the most devastating striking games the sport has ever seen. His kickboxing record? 75 wins, 5 losses. He went on an 11-year winning streak in New Zealand. Then he went to China and just kept knocking people out. By the time he got to the UFC, he wasn't just a fighter, he was a character. The dancing, the entrances, the trash talk pulled straight from anime villains. And here's the thing about protagonists, they don't just win, they win in style. They make it look inevitable, like the universe is bending around them. For 3 years, that's exactly what Adesanya did. His fight in 2019 against Kevin Gastelum is considered one of the greatest fights in UFC history. 5 rounds of absolute war. Adesanya almost got finished in the 4th. Then he came back and dominated the 5th. That fight proved that he wasn't just flashy, he had heart. 2 fights later, he knocked out Robert Whittaker to become the undisputed middleweight champion in front of 57,000 people in Australia, Whittaker's home country. That was the peak, the anime protagonist completing his arc. And then he just kept winning. Paulo Costa destroyed. Marvin Vittori dominated. Jared Cannonier outclassed. 5 successful title defenses. During this era, watching Adesanya fight was like watching someone play a video game in easy mode. He'd slip the punches by millimeters, counter with perfect timing. He made elite fighters look like they were moving in slow motion. The question wasn't whether he'd win, it was how stylish the finish would be. But here's the thing about being a protagonist: the story eventually has to get complicated. You have to face that one opponent you just can't figure out. For Israel Adesanya, that was Alex Pereira. Before the UFC, Alex Pereira beat Israel Adesanya twice in kickboxing. Adesanya talks about how those losses haunted him. How Pereira was that one puzzle he just couldn't solve. And when they met in the UFC in November 2022, it happened again. Pereira landed the same left hook, and the champion went to sleep. That loss cracked something. Not just his record, his aura. Adesanya, for the first time, looked beatable, mortal, human. 5 months later, he got his revenge. Knocked Pereira out cold at UFC 287, one of the most cathartic moments in UFC history. Watch his reaction after that fight. He wasn't just celebrating, he was releasing years of frustration. That win was personal in a way most fights aren't. If this was anime, that would have been the ending. Hero faces demon, hero loses, hero comes back and wins, and the credits roll. But real life doesn't work that way. And what happened next proved that Israel Adesanya's story was far from over. Just not in the way anyone expected. Four months after the Pereira revenge, Adesanya defended his title against Sean Strickland, a massive betting underdog. A fighter most people thought had no business being in a title fight. Strickland won dominantly. 5 rounds of pressure that Israel Adesanya had no answer for. That fight shocked the world. But what came after was even more telling. Adesanya fought Dricus du Plessis for the title in August 2024. Lost again. Another grappling heavy fighter who smothered his style. Then, February 2025, Nasruddin Imavov. Second round knockout. Adesanya out cold. 3 straight losses, 2 of them finishes. The man who once seemed untouchable was now getting touched hard. Here's what's fascinating about watching Adesanya during this stretch. It's not that he forgot how to fight. His timing is still elite. His reads are still sharp. But something else changed. The confidence, the swagger, the belief that he was the protagonist and the world would just bend around him. That's gone. And in fighting, it isn't just mental. It shows up in your feet, your timing, your willingness to pull the trigger. So the question becomes, can you get that back? Can you rebuild something that made you special once you've lost it? After the Imavov loss, Adesanya disappeared. No fights scheduled. Rumors of retirement. Some people thought he was done. Then he started talking. But what he said surprised everyone. In a recent interview, he was asked about chasing the belt again. His answer? It's not about the belts anymore. I've got 2 shiny belts at home. They look good. I just want to fight. I just want to do things like I did on the way to the belt. That's not a man chasing legacy. That is a man that's trying to remember why he started fighting in the first place. Before the titles, before the money, before 57,000 people in the arena were chanting his name, there was a kid in New Zealand who watched anime and thought, I want to fight like that. Maybe that's what he's trying to get back to. Not the championships, but that feeling. But here's the brutal reality. The UFC doesn't care about feelings. On March 28th, Adesanya steps into the cage against Joe Pyfer, a 29-year-old knockout artist on a 3-fight win streak. Pyfer is hungrier, is younger, and has nothing to lose and everything to prove. Adesanya, on the other hand, has everything to lose, including the narrative on his entire career. This fight isn't for a title. It's not for rankings. It's for something more important. It's for an answer to a question that Adesanya has been avoiding. Is he still the protagonist? Or has the story moved on without him? If he loses, the calls for retirement will be deafening. 4 straight losses, 37 years old. The narrative writes itself. The last Stylebender lost his style. But if he wins, if he walks into Seattle and faces a dangerous knockout artist and reminds everyone why he was the most beautiful striker in UFC history, then the story continues. Then we get more chapters. Then the anime protagonist rises again. I don't know what's going to happen on March 28th. I don't know if Adesanya has one more great performance in him or if his time has passed. But I know this, for 10 years, Israel Adesanya fought like he was the main character. Like the universe was written around him and he couldn't lose. On March 28th, he gets to find out if that was ever true. If he just believed it so hard that we believed it too. Either way, I'll be watching. If this story hit you the way it hit me, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you want more deep dives like this. Fighter psychology, origins, the stories behind the fights. This is the Fight Bite. I'll see you on the next one.